Hello, everybody. Happy Monday and welcome to Chart Request Live. I am Sam Gatland and I'm joined by my esteemed colleague Alfonso. How are you, Alfonso?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I noticed you filled in for JC today while he's out gallivanting around Disney. You wrote about CFOs and why they're so amazing to follow. Do you
Yeah,
want to speak to
man.
that a little bit?
Yeah, man. I have been working on Hot Corner looking for insider transactions. Think of Form 4, 13Ds, 13Gs, political filings. But I have, you know, found that the most important ones and the most interesting ones are when the CFOs or CFOs expertise in the past step in and buy the stocks. They know the statements, the numbers of the company, and that makes them like more useful in insider trading. So we
And you
will.
included a chart in your post. Do you want to talk about that situation? Or do they need to go
Yeah,
look at the post to see it?
yeah. It was the former CFO of PayPal that stepped in Square in August 6th. Let me show the chart here. August 6th was the day after the market and Square or Block bottom this year. So he's now up 60%. The stock is just breaking out of this base. We have a lot of room to go to the upside. The upside potential here in this chart is amazing. So it's not just one example. I mean, if you look at RCL, Royal Caribbean, we saw a similar action from the CFO the same day. I mean, on August 6th, right here at this dip, at this former resistance, now turned into support. So now the CFOs, for example, are in this one is 80% up. So definitely, when it comes to insider trading, insider transactions, the CFOs are the most important to follow. So keep an eye on that.
So, like, August 5th was really, really gross. Did that give you some confidence to step in and buy, given the CFOs were buying too?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, we didn't buy. I didn't buy just because an executive stepped in. We're a technician. We wait for trend identification and a confirmation from the trend, identifying risk levels with favorable risk reward opportunities. So if we have to, wait to have a little bit more of conviction, we will do it. And that's how we do it. That's how we mix technical analysis with these insider purchases.
It's great stuff. So let's get into it.
Yeah,
What
let's
are you
do
thinking
it.
about the broader market here, Alfonso? You pulled up the S&P 500. What are you seeing here?
Look, man, we're entering the last 2 weeks of the year. Historically, from a seasonality standpoint, they have been very bullish, especially the last week of December, the last 5 days of December, and the first two of January is when the Santa Claus rally begins. So let's see. I'm very, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that. I think we will close the year with some extra gains here. Definitely, rotation back into semiconductors. I'm looking for that rotation within tech, for
That's
example.
something that Straza has been pointing out too. Are you on board with that? I'm not quite sure about these semiconductors.
I
We've been
know,
debating
I know
it.
you. I know you don't. You're seeing like a PPO crossover, something like that, right?
Yeah.
But at least some kind of rotation within tech. I think it's healthy. Here is the SMH relative to the S&P. Not a top yet. Look at momentum not getting oversold. So I'm giving Sammy's the benefit of doubt. I think it's necessary to see some leaders, some former leaders, to break out again and start participating. Here's Broadcom. Look at this monster uptrend. Here's a nice solid base earnings gap, right, Sam? You covered that one
Very, very impressive.
on Friday. So, something interesting from semiconductors Avgo relative to NVIDIA, for example. Look at this relative trend,
Wow.
at least from 2023, it broke out this downward trend line. So it's an interesting one for me.
That's kind of what I'm seeing is it's tough to be bullish Nvidia, but like there are opportunities in semis like this Broadcom you're pointing out. Marvell is also very interesting to me right now.
Oh yeah, Marvel. I know you covered that one. Let's take a look at that one real quick. Beautiful base breakout, like a breakaway gap from this base, right?
Yep.
It's right there at our target at around 130. So it's looking so good. But yeah, in the semiconductor space, you will find some names struggling like AMD lately, right? Below the prior cycle highs, challenging the August 5 lows. So, let's see if AMD can hold, above 123, 122, something positive, of course. You don't want to see these kind of bellwethers to break down. The same I will say with NVIDIA. I think that's the first chart that we have in our mailbox, right, Sam? So
yeah, let's just go right into it.
Let's talk about
NVIDIA.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, it has nothing. I will say since June, it has been a mess. We started, we had a corrective phase through, between June and October. In October, it tried to break out from this small base, but now it's kind of carving out like a top information. Definitely, you don't want to see, one of the largest companies in the world, getting back into the box and complete this small head and shoulder formation. I mean, we have seen a lot of these formations and topping pattern this year to failed. So, I'm waiting for this level. I think buyers have to step in if they want to stay in control. So they have to do it right here, right now for NVIDIA.
Sure. And is this a big extension level from the prior cycle's base? I'm curious if you could show that to us.
Yeah, here from this one, you mean?
Right. I assume it is. The market seems to be really struggling here.
Yeah, we're right in the middle. We're right on the middle, but I know if we zoom out a little bit, back to, let me see, I don't have the extension, maybe from here, we are right there. This is the 2018 highs, extension levels. So we're right there. But for me, for a more tactical level and a more tactical area, I think this is the level, 133, 132, if you want. That's the, that's where I'm waiting NVIDIA to step in here and see if we can, catch a bid. Here is semiconductors on an equally weighted basis, excluding, the weight on NVIDIA on another ETFs and indexes of semiconductors. So this one it's looking much better. It speaks not all semiconductors look like NVIDIA. Some of them are working, and it's breaking out of this base. It tried to break out back in the summer. It failed. It entered it in a corrective wave, and now it's breaking out again. So for me, this is a good chart that tells a good story for semiconductors in general.
That's a great point. Yeah, semiconductors as a whole haven't really been great this cycle. It's been a lot of
Yeah.
NVIDIA doing the heavy lifting. Let's move on to the ticker TEAM. This is Atlassian Corporation. We have we have Paul asking about Team. He says he owns it, but wants to know if there's a spot to add to his holding. He's thinking about 6 to 9 months as this time frame.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. So, the chart looks very interesting here. It's like a repetitive pattern that we have seen this year, this reversal basis completing. So for me, I think as long as we're about 256, I think the path of this resistance is higher. This area is, the January highs. It's also the 38 retracement level from this drawdown from 2021 through 2022. So for me, it's super simple. I think you can define a risk at 256. As long as we're above that level, the bias is higher on this name. What do you think?
I think the relative trend here is also very interesting, like Team versus IGV, like
Oh,
the
team.
versus its peer group, trying to fail a pretty massive top. So you could get a pretty explosive move. If that happens, it still has work to do, but I mean, that is front and center for me. It's
Yeah,
been a
I
major laggard versus its peers, but that could be changing here.
Yep, yep. So this is the top and pattern that it's failing here on a relative basis. And again, we have seen this pattern failed too many times this year that it's hard to believe one of these, complete to the downside. So every time they try to complete and resolve lower, buyers step in and put this failed breakdown here. And as we know, and as we have learned here at Alastor charts, it's from failed moves come fast move in the opposite direction. So this is what we're seeing here. This is a great chart that tells a good story to be in a good position on an absolute basis too, right? Because we're seeing some kind of relative strength lately. The absolute trend, it's looking good above risk level. A new uptrend is underway as long as we're above 250 to 56. So I really like this name for a catch-up trade for the software space. If we look at the ETF IGV, it already resolved this reversal base. It already reclaimed the prior cycle high. So I think Team has some room to run.
For sure. Shout out to Paul for bringing that along. Great looking chart.
Great chart, man.
Let's move on to Gerber, asking about Tesla. Now
wow.
Tesla's above $400. What is the next target as it resolves this 4-year base, makes new all-time highs? And Tesla is how much market cap now, Alfonso? I'm seeing 1.5 trillion here.
So yeah, exactly. 1.5.
So at the top of the leaderboard, you have Apple today. That's about 3.8 trillion. So
wow.
I think the first question is, will Tesla be at the top of the leaderboard by the end of this cycle?
In what position is it? That's the question.
It's like 7 or 8 right now.
Well, it is. Yeah. Okay.
1.5 trillion, and it needs to get to about 4 trillion.
Yeah. Look, the thing is, the story here for me about Tesla is, two things. Mega caps are back on top. Apple broke out. Google is making new all-time highs. Amazon is looking great. Already broke out of a massive base. Meta, if you look at Meta, it's looking great. And now Tesla is, breaking out of this massive base. So that's one point. Another point is the rotation back into discretionary sector. So if we look at the XLY relative to the SPY, to the S&P 500, and we zoom out, we will see this massive top to fail here, right?
Right. This is huge. JC's been talking about this top for a long time, saying if this is a bull market, this needs to not be a top. And in fact, that was the case.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, well said. You said, everything we need to know about this top. It failed to break down, and now it's making its highest levels since September 2022. So that's another thing about Tesla right now. When we look at the chart, purely the chart, it has been consolidating, after a massive run between 2020 and 2021. It has been consolidating in a nice base, and now we're breaking out to new all-time highs above 400, 410, or 420, if you like. I think the next target is 605. It could be a little bit overextended in the short term, but I think as long as we're above 400, the risk level, it's very well defined, and I think you can give it a shot. Look at momentum, how it changed since the summer, right? It was before that it was in a bearish regime, multiple touches here on oversold conditions, and then in the summer, hey, we hit this massive reading in momentum, and in every correction, in every corrective wave, we haven't even touched 30 or 35. So that makes a strong runner for Tesla. And beautiful base. We like to buy these base breakouts. Empty space above. Let's do it, man. We love it.
Love it. The bigger the base, the higher in space, right? That's
exactly, man. We have been waiting for this base for 4 years. So, it's time.
I agree.
5% today.
Yeah. Let's move on to Nick. Nick is wanting to know about Walmart.
Oh, Walmart. Okay.
Walmart has had one hell of a run this bull market. Could it be closer to the end than the beginning?
Sorry?
Is it closer to the end of the trend here for Walmart than the beginning? Like, how much has it rallied this bull market cycle?
Definitely not the beginning, right? The beginning was early this year when it broke out of this from this sideways trend here, I will say. I think it has been showing in an impressive relative strength, of course. Look at the relative trend here. Since early, since December of last year, this year has been amazing for Walmart on an absolute basis. I will use this fib extension from here. It is a little bit messy, but I think we're heading towards 100. Not only because it is the 423 extension, but because it is also a psychological level of 100, similar like Bitcoin.
For sure.
Right now we're just $5 of that level, so I think we will hit 100, and then here around this area we can see some digestion from these massive gains. And what I like of this chart, Sam, is how we can use momentum to identify trends or the strength of the trends, right? Look at momentum in a clearly bullish regime. For the past 2 years, hasn't even touched oversold conditions on a daily basis. So this is the perfect example to show a bullish regime for the 14-day RSI.
And how funny is it that that's Walmart, that we're talking about the textbook image of a bullish regime? This is like a parabolic uptrend for the Walmart.
Yeah, man. It is. It is. It is really impressive, man.
It's very
Um,
impressive. Yeah, it's almost $1 trillion now. It's
I will
sitting
say
at
we haven't.
$768 billion in market cap
Wow.
today.
Wow. I mean, we haven't seen, that kind of rally in the past. This is a vertical line, like an entire year with some runway gaps here. So, a strong uptrend, but I think around 100 we could see, and we could expect a well-deserved digestion here. So, yeah, that's how I see Walmart.
Yeah, great find there, Nick. Thanks for bringing that along. Let's move on to Joe asking about Uber for the next 6 months. I think he's
Oh,
looking to sell
wow.
it in
Nice.
June 2025. What do you think
Okay.
about that?
I was talking to Steve the other day, I think Friday or Thursday, about the Uber. For me, it's super simple, this chart. I don't want to overthink this chart too much. We have been in a corrective phase after a nice run since February, right? For me, the line in the sand is the prior cycle highs around 63, 62. Call it 60 if you want to give it a little bit more space here. So this is like another, top information here, right?
Yeah, probably not a top.
Probably not a top. This is, software is, considered a software name, and I don't see it breaking down. I don't like momentum though, getting oversold right now. So, if you want to give it a shot or above 60, I think you can. I could do it, but definitely you want to see buyers step in here and put a failed top here and catch up some bid.
I think a key characteristic of all these failed tops this bull market cycle has been not registering oversold readings. Like you look at semiconductors earlier, not getting oversold, not even getting close. Home builders
Yeah.
6 months ago, not even close to oversold. So I would be skeptical of this failing as a top. Maybe it has a little bit more corrective action. Maybe it's retesting that August 5th low. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I agree with you. These are sold conditions, not good compared to to other examples that they didn't reach oversold conditions. But software has been one of the strongest groups, right? Lately, IGV, look at how it broke out of this base, and it's making new all-time highs.
Right. Let's move on to Mark Zerby. Big shout out, Mark Zerby, a consistent Chart Request Live viewer. He's requesting APLD. This is Applied Digital Corp. It's about
Okay.
$2 billion and it has 27% short interest.
Oh wow, this is your name, Sam.
Yep.
Right?
I covered this one a few weeks ago in the Freshly Squeezed column. It's kind of interesting. This is a company that pivoted from crypto mining, and that's what the huge rally there was. I think it was late 2022 they announced it. So they shifted from crypto mining to different types of data processing, specifically for like these AI models.
Okay, that's interesting.
It is interesting, yeah.
Hey, what was the short interest again?
It's about 27%.
97%.
Yeah,
Wow, I
and
mean,
3 days to cover. So
that's huge, man. So I don't know if you agree with me, but 1180, that's my level. It has been carving out a base for more than a year now. So if we get a break at about, call it 12, to have a little bit more of conviction here, I think the bias is higher. This name can double easily, I think. Definitely, that short interest, it could spark, on a big rally and a big move, right?
Definitely. That's what I'm betting on. Yeah.
I
And it's
mean,
the perfect environment. We've seen it over and over with these software.
yeah, you have been covering, a lot of a lot of these short names. So we have seen these kind of reactions. So definitely, I think this one is, a candidate for that.
For sure. And just like anything else, it starts with a good chart pattern. Like this is a chart pattern we'd be interested in buying no matter what. Just the extreme short interest is the cherry on top to spark.
And I have a question for you regarding short interest setups. Do you like, do you have like a preference, or do you have seen what kind of patterns are, better for this kind of setups? This kind of basis or failed moves, for example.
I think, yeah, failed moves. Like back in 2022, Carvana and Coinbase were down in the dumps. Nobody wanted to touch these stocks, and that was exactly the time you should have been buying these stocks. And you would have absolutely crushed this bull market if you did that. You'd be up a ridiculous amount of money in the Carvana if you bought it down there. How much is it up from there, Alfonso, at current levels?
Let's say from here, or from here, or from the bottom. From here.
Yeah.
Look at that.
You'd make 2,500%, and like that's not easy to do. You have to plug your nose and buy it, but I mean that is the dominant strategy for maximizing your gains.
I remember also Strasa nailed this trade with Coinbase too, in a freshly squeezed.
He's enjoying the fruits of that today.
Oh man, I mean, I remember this failed move, man. I remember that.
It was a very fast move in the opposite direction there.
Yeah, that's right.
Love it.
What else we have?
Let's look at SolarEdge. Speaking of highly shorted stocks, SolarEdge, let's see, that's ticker SEDG. And that comes from Steven in the chat. Shout out, Steven. Bring in the heat. So SolarEdge has, get this, 35% short interest. And this is exactly what we were just talking about. Huge, ugly, terrible chart patterns. Nobody in their right minds would want to touch this. And that is exactly what you want in a great short squeeze.
So do you think we will get it?
I think you'll get it, yeah. I'm a buyer now.
Look the thing. I mean, it went like parabolic between 2017 2020, like in 3 years, went for between 12 to 390. That's impressive. And then it completed this massive top and crashed like 99%. Now it is putting like a fairly breakdown right the 2017 2016 lows. This is exactly the place the prior rally started, so it will make sense. I mean, if there is a place and like a place for this stock to catch a bid and stop falling, I think this is it. Also, we have seen some insider, some directors buying at this low, so maybe we can wait a little bit to
wait for the CFO to file.
Exactly. Let's see if the CFO step in, but I think this is a logical place for people,
For sure. That's a great chart. Thank you for bringing that along, Stephen. That was very on topic as well. We have James in the chat asking about Lululemon. We were just talking about the consumer discretionary, big rotation into
Wow.
discretionary, and boy, has that rotation come into Lululemon.
Look at that, man. And not only, the rotation conversation, but fail tops again.
Love it. The failed top episode of Chart Request Live.
That's right. I mean, look at this failed breakdown here below this, neckline, and we're ripped higher. So from false moves, come fast moves in the opposite direction. We're in the middle right now of this range. I wouldn't be surprised to see Lululemon right at this top of the range, around 400, even 500 if you want. So yeah, that's how I say it, man. Failed move here, ripped higher, gap here, and I think we can see it at the top of the range. What do you think?
For sure, yeah. I'm just like fundamentally bullish on Lululemon, and it's
Nice.
not been great for a while. But I think this is a super trend. The leggings and just that type of attire, I think, is a super trend and is here to stay. I like this one. I personally, I'd want it above those former highs. I think that's the first target here. I think it gets there. Maybe this month, actually. Like, it looks like it has that kind of momentum. Super high and tight continuation pattern here. I love to see that. Those are some of the best patterns to buy for short-term traders in bull markets.
Yeah,
Something
that's right.
just like this. You get a ton of momentum behind it, and it flags high and tight like that. You buy the resolution all day long.
Yeah, and look where prices, wait, is stopping this advance right at this gap from March 2024 this year. So if we zoom in this chart, we will see like a nice base here for a more tactical view above 4, let's say 420 for more conviction and confirmation. I think we will see this gap to get filled, and that will give us back to the former high from 2021 and right here at the all-time highs. So that's the play I'm seeing here. Some digestion from this gap and from this run here, and eventually a breakout about 420.
Love it. I think you said it all. Let's move on to Wavy McFly. We'll finish with Wavy McFly's request here. He's talking my book. I covered this stock in Commodities Weekly on Friday. Ticker AEIS. This is Advanced Energy Industries. Now, you're going to have to zoom all the way out on this one. If you know Wavy McFly, he likes big bases. He's always bringing big bases to us, and this is one of my favorite. It's ticker AEIS. Sorry, Alfonso. So.
Oh, sorry. Wait.
AEIS.
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry for that. Yeah. Beautiful chart.
Beautiful chart. More. You got to zoom out more. Right. Oh, yeah. All the way.
So, let me see. So, an energy name, right?
This is not exactly. So they're involved in making the components to harness energy. Components that semiconductor fabs need and healthcare devices and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. I see why. I mean, yeah, nice cover on that one, man. It's looking incredibly well.
Yep, up 5% today too.
Oh wow, this is a great chart. Probably my favorite from today, honestly.
Yep.
Beautiful. Massive base here, and then we call these patterns like base and base, right?
Right.
That's how I think Rand like to call them. So it's super simple. About 120, I think the path of least resistance will switch higher towards 200. So beautiful name, beautiful chart.
Thanks for bringing that along, Wavy. This is an amazing one. Sounds like Wavy loves the yoga pants too. Love it, Wavy.
That's
You're the man. I think that's all we've got today for Chart Request Live. We really appreciate all of you being here. We'll come back on Thursday, right? Thursday at noon Eastern. 1 o'clock Eastern, excuse me. Yep,
Yeah.
excuse me. Yeah, we'll be back Thursday. Catch us tomorrow morning for the morning show. It's a great week for the morning show. Straza has been let out of the cage and he is running things. So be sure to be there, everybody. We'll catch you later.
Bye, guys. Thank you.